Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. And man, is it good to be back. I took an extended weekend, went to visit some friends from New York for my birthday, saw some family, hung out, drank a little too much, generally just had a good time. And unfortunately, that means I neglected you guys. I'm really sorry, but I'm back. Anyway, today I wanted to discuss a topic I get asked a lot. A topic that might not apply to all my old viewers, but you guys may still find it interesting, but a topic for the new watch collectors out there. And I get asked all the time, Federico, what is a good first luxury watch? Or Federico, what first watch should I buy in the luxury segment? And this has a really interesting kind of answer, more interesting than you may think. But of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing the IWC Vintage Collection Engineer. I put it back on its navy strap, and it gives it completely new life. Actually, it's getting really hot here in Miami, so even though I'm still in my honeymoon period with my new Rolex Hulk, I've decided to give some strap watches some love before summer really takes over and they become unwearable for a few months. So yeah, IWC Vintage Collection Engineer, not a great first watch to buy. Also, I want to let you guys know, I just got in a really rare white dial version of a Speedmaster automatic, as well as a blue ceramic Seamaster over at my website, delraywatch.com. The Speedmaster is a beautiful tritium dial, and of course, the Seamaster is the ceramic iconic version that you guys know so well. If you guys want to check those out, that's Delray Watch Supply, delraywatch.com. Link in the description below. But anyway, before recommending good luxury watches for the first-time buyer, I want to give you my opinion of what are some things I look at. Now, for first-time luxury watch buyers, I want to get them something that retains pretty decent value so they don't get a bad experience, even though watches are terrible investments. Something that is easily purchased, so no like Nautilus or Hulk Submariner, which is impossible to buy, so easily purchasable. Something that doesn't need any special care to wear, so no crazy complications, learning to set a perpetual calendar. Something that is versatile, as well as something preferably under the $6,000 range. Some of these might be a little bit above that, but preferably under $6,000 so people can dip their toes in the luxury watch market. And when looking at these, you'd be surprised. There's a ton of great choices. And I boiled it down to 5 picks that I think would make a great first-time luxury watch purchase. And of course, these are in no particular order. However, the first one is going to be the most obvious. And I'm going to go with the Rolex Datejust. Not the Submariner, the Datejust. The watch that arguably invented the sports watch, but today more of a dress piece. Now, why the Datejust? Well, first of all, it's easily purchasable. You can find them in any Rolex AD. They're very seldomly out of stock, especially because there's so many flavors. Then, of course, there's a lot of flavors, so the first-time buyer can pick a blue dial, a white dial, a Roman dial, a stick dial, a fluted bezel, a flat bezel, 41 millimeters, 36 millimeters, Jubilee, Oyster, a ton of choices. And of course, it's automatic, easy to take care of, tough as nails, can be worn swimming, can be worn to the office, can be worn in a suit, can be worn in a polo. It's just a fantastic watch. And it's an icon without being too flashy. I mean, it's still a Rolex, and it's recognizable, but at the same time, the right Datejust, maybe a black dial, smooth bezel on an Oyster, can go right under the radar. Yes, on the higher end of this budget, but this is really a perfect jack-of-all-trades watch. Arguably, the Explorer could have been picked as well, the Explorer one, but I think the Datejust is literally one of the perfect first watches for someone to own in the luxury segment. Next, we're going with another icon, something maybe not quite as versatile, but a little bit more modern, and of course, a little less expensive. And that is the Omega Seamaster Ceramic, the one I said I had in stock. What can we say? The Omega Seamaster is a great first watch. It's a dive watch, which is the most popular style, has tough materials, stainless steel and ceramic, so it doesn't really scratch. It's a great size at about 41 millimeters. Comes in blue or black, even though I'm partial to the blue. It's, been worn in James Bond films, which is only marketing, but of course makes it super cool. Coaxial movement, so very high end, but also very water resistant and easy to use like the Datejust. Just a time and date. For someone that thinks the Datejust is a little bit too classic, the ceramic Seamaster really hits the button. Now these can be used around 2,500. New, of course, I think the retail's 44, significantly less than the Rolex. But it's a younger look, it's a sportier look, it's a dive watch which is still versatile, and it's still very, very tough. The Omega Seamaster might not be as iconic as the Speedmaster, in my opinion at least, but the Speedmaster is manual wind, it's got a chronograph, service is more expensive. I just think the Seamaster is more new collector friendly, and it's a little easier to wear every day, particularly with that water resistance. So if you should have an accident, like jumping into a pool, I think the Speedmaster would still be okay, but with the Seamaster, there are no questions. So, ceramic Seamaster to the rescue. It's a fantastic watch. Now, third is another very versatile piece, but maybe not one everybody picks. And I'm going to go with the IWC Mark 18. This is 39 or 40. I believe it's a 40 millimeter IWC Flieger watch, which is a pilot's watch. Basically, it's a wide open dial, black usually, even though you do have a white variant, that is very, very highly legible and has fantastic lume. Now, this one right here houses the venerable ETA 2892. Guys, don't be ETA snobs. It's a fantastic movement, easy to be serviced, can be serviced by most any independent watchmaker, and very tough. IWC, of course, has tuned this to their in-house specifications. Now, this does not come on a bracelet. Well, actually, it does, but I like the strap variant. And once again, it looks great in a suit, it looks great in jeans. Not maybe as dressy as the Datejust, but definitely one that is more into the military kind of look. The IWC Mark 18 is a beauty. Full of history, also IWC, one of the original Flieger manufacturers. There's just something really, really cool about this pick, and it's different, which is why I picked it. The retail price, just about $4,000, and not necessarily as water resistant as the Datejust or the Seamaster. However, it is still it is still a tough watch with a soft iron core, which fights magnetism. What can we say? IWC Mark 18, a very cool pick for someone that wants something a little different. Now we're coming up with the least expensive and the sportiest watch on this list, and that is one of my favorite divers for the price point, and that is the Auris Aquos. What can we say about the Aquos? Once again, comes in many flavors and many sizes. Ceramic bezel, 300-meter water resistance, comes on rubber or on a bracelet. Sellita movements, which in my opinion, not as good as ETA, but the price is right, and Sellita's still, very reliable. Auris may not have the name cachet of the other brands. However, it is very inexpensive for the quality of watch you receive. You get a ton of choices, it's a simple automatic movement, and it can be a lifelong companion. I think the Aquos is by far one of the most underrated watches ever made. Now, lastly is the pick, which I'm sure I'm going to get the most crap for mentioning, but I'll explain why I think it's ideal. That is the Cartier Tank Solo. Oh, Federico, you always have to throw in Cartier. Yeah, I do, because you guys don't respect them enough. And Cartier is a hell of a watch. Don't forget, they basically invented the men's modern wristwatch, and the Tank, one of the most iconic watches ever made. Yes, not as versatile, but don't forget, a lot of guys, including myself, used to wear or still do wear suits every day. And in the office environment, is there something more elegant than a Cartier Tank? Now, the Tank Solo is the lowest end tank. Yes, it is stainless steel. The tank is traditionally made in gold. And it houses an ETA, not manual, an ETA automatic movement. However, it's the perfect size tank for the modern man. It comes on a beautiful alligator strap with a deploying buckle. I believe the retail price is about $2,500, so it's fairly inexpensive for a Cartier. And you get one of the most elegant timepieces ever made in the history of watchmaking by a brand that is a very, very big name. Now, most everybody knows who Cartier is, and a lot of horology aficionado wannabes will poo-poo on them for also being a jeweler. But for all you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, just unsubscribe, because Cartier is a big winner in my book, and I'm here to defend them. So, you get an elegant watch that fits great with the suit. It's definitely for the dressier gentleman, for the more formal gentleman. You get a design icon, all for a price that I think is very fair. How can the Cartier Tank Solo not make it on this list? Anyway, guys, those are my 5 picks for great beginner watches. Let me know what you think. Now, obviously, there are a ton of watches I missed out, but I had to boil it down to 5. Omega Aquaterras, IWC Portuguese. Some might argue a Breitling, even though I think the value retention is a little tough. So pre-owned for the Breitling, but most first-time buyers don't want to buy pre-owned. Longines, another brand, but there's a ton out there. These are my 5 picks. I'd love to know your opinion in the comments section below. Guys, also, please don't forget to check out Del Rey Watch Supply. We don't only sell watches, we also buy them and service them. We have a master watchmaker on staff, my main man, Hansi. Go check it out. And guys, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help. And don't forget to subscribe. That way you don't miss any more content. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Federico Talks Watches, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.